Well, hello, hello. How are you, sir?
Fantastic. It's great to see you.
Uh, yeah, great to see you again. How have you been?
I've been really well, thank you. I'm up in Toronto right now working on a new TV series for Apple called Murderbot, and I am really over the moon this weekend getting, I every time I click on my Instagram, I'm like, I just looked right now. There was like 150 things I was tagged in of people going to cinemas around the country, Texas, Arkansas, Kansas City, Chicago, and like seeing Late Night with the Devil. I'm kind of freaking out, man. It's wild. This is such a cool week.
Yeah, well, it's such a cool movie. It deserves,
Thank
and
you.
that's the thing. When you make something great and then people pick up on it, it's like, ah, see, I knew it. But when you were making it, did you know that it was going to turn out this cool? Or were you just looking around on set going, oh, I think we got this one?
I'll tell you what. I knew a few days into filming that we were making something that I was going to love. And I
Mhm.
knew that I was having one of the best acting experiences of my life. Honestly, deep down in me, I thought this is probably going to be one of those things that we're going to make that I'm going to love and be really proud of, and no one is going to see it because it's just such a strange outside of the box movie that it probably will go under the radar. And that's okay. I've always prepared myself for that. I'm as much as I love sharing the stories I tell with audiences, I have to put process over product because
Mhm.
that's what I spend most of the time doing. And so that makes this extra special that I didn't foresee it becoming such a buzzy, popular film. It's really wild.
Yeah, and I was just thinking, this one also looked like it was a whole lot of fun to make too, which also helps, right?
It was so much fun. It was like stepping onto the set of, Carson or Letterman or something
Yeah.
from my childhood and getting to have a live band and all these great guests and all this fun like Halloween's my favorite day of the year, so it was here it is, it's Halloween night. We got these old vintage decorations and costumes. It's like, what more could I have asked? And it was such a great experience.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was thinking, well, maybe you need a show.
Dude, you know what's funny? When I got this offer to do this movie, I said there's no way in hell that I could convincingly pull off being a talk show host because I just don't think it's in my wheelhouse. And when we were doing it, the brothers, Colin and Cameron, would say to me, David, you could really be a talk show host.
You
I was like,
totally could.
get out of here.
I love it. Well, you've always made it look a whole lot easier than it is. It's certainly not easy to do what you do. But people look up at that screen, they go, "Oh, that's what I want to do." And so, what kind of advice do you give them?
I always say, you have to listen in the quietest, most still part of your heart to whatever voice is nudging you to do something. And if that nudges to be a performer, to act, to tell stories, then you have to really listen to that part of your heart as well and go, what is it about it that is alluring to me? For me, becoming characters, the artistry and the craftsmanship and the technical skill that I've been training for decades now to hone is something I love so deeply that it's been worth the hundreds of no's that I've gotten, the hundreds of doors slammed in my face, the hundreds of times I haven't been able to barely cobble enough money together to get gas in the car to run across town to go to an audition for a commercial or a voiceover thing. It is a lifelong journey. And I am 1% of 1% of people who have been able to somehow manage to actually make a living doing it. It's like, if you love it, you just got to do it. And that means you got to do it however and wherever you can. Community theater, in your basement, making your own films, short films. If you love it, then do it. If you want to be on TV, like you want to be, let's say you want to be famous or you like the idea of that reality, I think there's probably other easier ways to go about that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you might be familiar with my co-host Drew Pearson, one of our great Dallas
Yes,
Cowboys, won the Hall of Fame, and we're so
absolutely.
proud of him. And he wanted me to make sure that I asked you your Hail Mary moment, which is that moment in your life or career where you just had to go for it and it worked out for you. What do you suppose that was for you?
This movie,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
tell
yeah.
Drew, when I got this script, I said to myself, no one has offered me a role like this ever in my career.
Hmm.
I am so terrified of failure with this
Mm.
role because if I don't get it right, the movie will fail. And I don't believe I have it in me yet to manifest something authentically, tonally that reflects what it would be like to be a TV talk show host of the 70s. So I'm going to now have to find something in me. I'm going to have to work in a way I've never worked before with the very, very real possibility that I will never be able to get it right. So me saying yes to this was confronting a fear that I didn't that I hadn't faced before. And I'm so glad I said yes. And that I'm proud of myself that I actually was willing to walk through that fear and take on the challenge because I think it pushed me in a way that has helped my acting a lot.
Yeah. Well, good. Well, last thing then, because I know we got to wrap up, but I know part of this is just kind of keeping, maybe even tricking yourself, like, I got this. Of course I could be a TV host, Is there something that you keep in mind that kind of keeps you on that right path, even when things are tough, or even
You
when a
mean
role like
in
this?
general as an
Yeah.
actor? For
Yeah.
sure. The thing at the end of the day that's the most important that reminds me when I forget or when I get disillusioned or when my feelings are hurt because people don't like something I've made or when it's a 15 or 16-hour work day and you're in the freezing cold trying to do a stunt and your back hurts. When you tell a story well, when you execute what it is that you're setting out to do well, there is somebody out there who is going to watch or read the thing that you're creating, and they're going to have a moment where they're going to recognize something in there that reminds them of themselves and reminds them that they are not alone in this world for even a second. If I can do that for anybody else the way that great storytellers have done that for me, then it's all worth it. And it makes me feel really grateful that I get to do this.
Yeah, I love it. Well, we're so glad you did. Congratulations on this. 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Great reviews all the way around. People are loving it at the theaters. Or tell
Thanks,
everybody to go
Paul.
see it. And can't
Thanks
wait
so
to talk
much,
to you again
man.
soon.
Thank you so much. And my best to Drew, and thanks for having me on the show. I really appreciate it.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon. Thank you.
Bye.